being a teacher now, I've grown to respect you even more on a personal and professional level. As a principal, I know that you're one of a kind. And on a personal level, I think you're one of the most incredible people I've ever known. So I hope you have an awesome retirement full of new adventures, time spent with family, as well as just some peace and quiet maybe. Thank you for everything. See ya.
I'm sure there'll be a great vacuum left by the absence of your wisdom and your guidance and your wit. I, at the time, really appreciated the lessons that you passed on in IB English, but it's only as I began my adult life that I really realized the depth and the importance of what you passed on in that class. So I really want to thank you for the gifts and the perspectives that you've provided me.
I had the joy of being in Dr. Anderson's English classes for 3 of my years at Luther College High School. He gave us an appreciation for literature, writing, and critical thinking from a young age that I've carried with me since then. He pushed us to be our best and had high standards, but he was kind in his delivery, he was smart, and he was fun. I always looked forward to our classes with him. I wish you nothing but the best in a very well-deserved retirement.
And ever since I graduated from Luther, I continue to think about Dr. Anderson, and I respect him for how he guides students and listens to them, his badminton skills, his oration skills, and how he's so humble. You know, I ran into him and he was playing the organ, and I didn't even know that he could do that. And I just wish Dr. Anderson all the best in his retirement and thank him for his years of service at Luther and for all of his inspiration.
I feel blessed to have been one of your students, and I've learned so much from you. I feel like I am a good writer today because of my time with you in grade 11 and 12 in IB English. I was really in IB English not because of my commitment to the IB program, but because it would guarantee me 2 years with you.
There's lots of things that I could think back and reminisce as to why you were a great teacher and a great principal at Luther. The best thing that I could say, though, is that you made me excited to go to English class every day, which at the start of high school I would have thought would be impossible. So congratulations on your retirement and enjoy the heck out of it.
As I look back on the 17 years that I have known you, I've paused to reflect on all the different ways you have served our community. In my grade 12 year, you were a hero to us for multiple reasons, one of which was the hostage situation, where you guided us through that time and many others with strength and grace. But also as my grade 12 English teacher, you managed to make Shakespeare interesting, which is also a heroic endeavor.
Your impact on me was profound, as I'm sure the same can be said for countless others over the years. As I've gone into higher ed as a career myself, I've somehow become even more appreciative of your pedagogy. Your classes were intellectually rigorous without being alienating, fun-loving without being flippant or trivializing, and authentically inclusive from day one.
I did want to share a few lines from a letter our class wrote to you during our graduation. I think it does a great job of summing up the way that we all feel. Mr. Anderson's impact stretches far beyond the classroom, for he mentors, encourages, inspires, and spreads his love of learning and his profound wisdom through his boundless energy and humor. He is a teacher of the highest caliber because he not only teaches the subjects he has prescribed, but he teaches about life.
Divine Providence has taken me to many countries since my time at Luther College. However, everywhere I have gone, I've always brought with me fond memories of your kindness and friendship, but also the critical skills and profound insights into the human condition that you imparted to us as students. You taught us to read for meaning, but you helped us also to lead meaningful lives. I think back often on my time at Luther, and your influence on me as a young man and now as a priest remain profound.
As our English teacher, you pushed us to constantly question, challenge, and explore that gray area. As our principal, you demonstrated true leadership by listening first and then speaking in a way that unites all of our voices. And as my personal role model, you encouraged me to find my own voice and use it in a way that uplifts others. We were all so grateful to see you lead by example throughout your whole career.
Your English course was one of my favorite classes at Luther. Your enthusiasm for literature was infectious, and you cultivated a classroom that encouraged analysis and debate. I think it's fair to say you instilled a deep love of literature in many students you taught throughout the years, and you personally inspired me to study English literature at the university level. I was concerned about an increase in difficulty, however, and this may be of some interest to your current students who are curious, you prepared us well and the transition was a breeze.
So I feel like most of my self-esteem as a teenager actually came from having been his student, which is such a gift to give to a teenager. I'm not sure he even understood that he was doing that. He was just naturally the kind of person who was encouraging, who was warm, who was funny and kind and made you feel accepted. He was the embodiment of being a safe space for others.
As your friend of many years, I have been inspired by your steadfast commitment to the school and its community of students and staff. Somehow you're able to see the humor and the gravity of every situation and then act with clarity, guided by the truest moral compass. It's not a lie to say that even today, when I'm faced with difficult decisions where the right path is not clear to me, I consider, what would you do?
Although the Luther community will miss your presence, it will never be devoid of your legacy and impact. This is certain because there are many former Luther students out there who entered high school racked with anxiety, low self-esteem, and uncertainty over their future. Many of these students' lives were transformed during their time at Luther due to the example you set. Every time one of those students fell in love with what they were learning, it is because you never hid your love of teaching. Every time a teacher selflessly took a student under their wing, it is because you set that standard. And every time one of those students reached a level that their teacher called excellent, it is because you always exemplified what it means to be excellent. Congratulations on your retirement, God bless you, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything.